Well, you're in for a real treat with Jonah 4:7. You've heard of weak verbs. In this verse, we're going to be introduced to a double weak verb. A normal weak verb has one of its three consonants that's weak. A double weak has two consonants. This is going to be fun, right? Well, let's go ahead and begin. So, can you pronounce this, Hebrew? Here's how I would pronounce it. Vayaman ha-Elohim tola'at ba'alot ha-shakar. Okay, so what does this mean? You recognize anything? Vav patak, not doubling, but the vocal schwa has made the doubling go away, but it is a preterite, or a converted imperfect, or a vav consecutive, whatever you want to call it. That yod is therefore performative, third masculine singular. Weak verb alert. We've got two letters here, but we're missing a letter. What is it? Is it a first week? Is it a second week? Is it a third week? Let's find out. It's not the double week. That's the treat to come. Ha Elohim, you should recognize ha is the. So this is the God. Not just any old God here, but the God. Because Aleph is a guttural, I don't do doubling, we have compensatory lengthening here. Normally the article is hey, patak, doubling. Tried to shoot a dagesh into the Aleph and it bing, bounced off and made a patak into a kamatz. Not really. Okay, so and God prepared a tola'at. Let's get the translation here, shall we? And God, the God, prepared a tola'at. I know you've been wondering, what is the Hebrew word for worm? Here it is, the Hebrew word for worm. I think it also can mean scarlet. Apparently, I'm guessing that the way that one of the ways that they colored one of the dyes, scarlet dye, came from a worm. I'm guessing. Otherwise, why would scarlet and worm mean the same thing? This patak tav is a bit weird. It has me thinking feminine. So this is a feminine noun. I don't know why the la'at is weird. But anyway, my first thought was this must be construct. The worm of the Lord or something like that. But it's absolute. So anyway, the word for worm, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so and God prepared a worm, ba'alot. So what is this? Well, you know Allah, not the Muslim understanding of God, but Allah, to go up, the verb to go up. So this is a verb with a preposition on it. I wonder if this is an infinitive construct. Ding, 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 ding. It is. It's an infinitive construct. And as you might remember, because you have a photographic memory, this is a third hey, Allah. And with third hey verbs, they put an ot on it to kind of tie that sucker down to make it into the infinitive construct. So this is the infinitive construct of Allah, to go up or rising, and this is in rising, and I don't know, it's not really right to say it's construct. I mean, it's an infinitive construct, but it doesn't really mean construct. But the sense of it is, and God prepared a worm in the rising of the dawn, something like that. I think this is a the. Normally, when you have a prep, but no, you wouldn't have a the on an infinitive construct, would you? Okay, forget I said that. I'm guessing, I'm going to double check real quick, but I'm guessing that there's a patak here because of the guttural. Gutturals prefer A-class vowels, and so I don't think that patak is meaningful at all. I'll be right back. Correct. I had a momentary lapse of judgment. This is not the, you don't have the on an infinitive construct. It's just vowel nonsense because gutturals prefer A-class vowels and patak's an A-class vowel. So, and God prepared a worm in the rising of the dawn, in the rising of the dawn. So this is a hey patak doubling. That is a the, and then shakar is morning, in the morning. Okay? So, there you have it. Now I want to look at this. What is it? Is it first? Take a guess. What do you think it is? We know that third hays go away in the preterite, and that's in fact what this is. This is mana. I'm going to pull it up. This is mana, and the third hay has gone away because it's in the preterite. Now here's a surprise. That shava under the performative is a telltale sign of the piel, or the doubling stem. Now, you don't have doubling because it chopped off the third. And so you would normally have a doubled nun, but you don't have doubled letters at the end of a word normally. There's one, or there's maybe a couple places where that happens, but it's very unusual. So the doubling didn't happen. even though it's PL or D stem, because the middle letter ended up as the last letter. So it's a bit weird. The only hint that this is a PL is the Shava under the performative. And if you go back in the Udemy course or in my YouTube videos, you'll see way back when we did the imperfect of the PL, we mentioned that one of the telltale signs of the imperfect of the PL is a vocal schwa under the performative. So it is in fact a PL, third masculine singular because of the yod, imperfect, and it's preterite. Vav patak should have been doubling. Okay, so the God prepared a worm in the rising of the dawn. Now, why did God do this? He gives, he takes, he gives, he takes. Gives him a plant, then takes it away. And so let's pronounce this, shall we? Go ahead and see if you can pronounce it. And here's my attempt. Lama karat vatak et ha ki kanon va yi vash. Okay, so he prepared a plant, or he prepared a worm on the dawn on the morrow. On the next day, God introduces a worm to the equation. So this is la, two. We have a patak doubling, the hay gets popped out, right? When you have the preposition and the doubling, the hay goes away in this case as well. And then makarat is the next day, or on the morrow. And so God prepared a worm in the morning on the next day, and it struck, vatak. We'll come back to this in a second. We have vav patak doubling. So I am thinking that that's a converted imperfect, a vav consecutive, a preterite. And then that means that this tav is a performative. So a tav can either be a third feminine singular or a second masculine singular. Remember, it's yiktol, tiktol in that song. So it's either because we're talking about a worm here, and you'll remember that the worm was feminine, it ended in a patak tav, so it's a feminine singular worm. So this is the third feminine singular performative. That means, here it is, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, our first doubly weak verb in Jonah that I remember, at least, unless it happened before I was doing in-depth analysis. So the kaf is all that's left. So either the first and the second have gone, or the first and the third have gone, or the second and third have gone, or that's about all the options, isn't it? So which is it? What is this word? I'm going to guess right off the bat that it's a third hey that's gone away. So I'm guessing that the kaf is either the first or the second of the consonants. Hold that thought. We'll find out in a moment. There's the reveal. Et is the definite direct object marker. Hey patak doubling is the. We've had kikayon, the word for plant. We already had that one. So the plant. It struck the plant. And then we have va yi vash. This is a vav patak doubling, so it's a converted imperfect. It's a preterite. It's yavash. The yod didn't go away. Remember, there are several things that a first yod verb can do. Well, we're just having a weak verb lalapalooza in this verse. Nicely, the yod has stayed. There are like three options. The yod can go away. The yod can, I forget all the options. One of them is this one, namely that it just becomes a vowel. And so that's a nice one. It withered, and it withered. Okay, so let's figure out what it is. Did you guess what it is? Is it a first yod? Is it a first nun? What is it? It's a first nun. So the word is naka, to strike or to smite. So naka is the word here. And it's had the front and the end smitten off. So the first nun has gone away. Normally it would have assimilated. Nun assimilates when no vowel separates. But again, you don't have a double lettered as the last letter. So the hey went away, and then you couldn't double from assimilation because it was the last letter. And so the nun went away too. And so we've got the vav patak doubling, it's the preterite, and then we've got the tav, which tells me it's third feminine singular and that it's imperfect. Now here's the last little surprise, didn't see that coming. A patak. So if boy, we're just reviewing everything in this verse. What a great verse. If a shavah under the performative is a telltale sign of the piel or the D stem in the imperfect, a patak under the performative is a telltale sign of the hiphil or the H stem. So, and I'm not sure, he calls it to smite. I don't know, just look it up in the dictionary what it means in the hiphil. I think if we just translate it, and it struck the plant, will be just fine. So, and it struck, the worm struck the plant, and the plant withered. And that's it for the plant. All right, shoo! This is really a great verse for Hebrew grammar. I hope you'll go tell your friends, celebrate, go get some ice cream, maybe a strawberry shortcake at Ivanhoe's, if you know what that is. So this has been the Hebrew of Jonah 4:7.